Guys, Mayflom here, and you know, I was on a phone call and I was doodling around and I really like how this flower turned out. It's just a flower that I doodled onto some scratch paper. However, if I place it on my mat here, and look at this, I was cleaning up the studio and I have some extra stamp material, I could make my own custom stamp with the ScanNCut and in only minutes. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today in this video. First of all, we're going to want to scan. And we're going to want ScanNCut data because we are going to want to create a cut file. And just press start. It's in grayscale mode, which is fine. This is a black drawing on white paper. And once it is scanned, we get to pick how we would like this to be. Now, obviously, we are going to want to zoom way in because every little nick, every little scratch, every little imperfection of the mat is going to show up. So we don't want any of those. The other thing is I don't want it to save as the entire mat. I want it to save as the smaller file. So we have that option. We also have this option. It's just going to kind of change whether it's a single line or whether it's doing outline inside and out. That's the one I believe I want. I'm going to say save to the machine. And it is saved. Guess what, guys? We are ready now to go back to the home screen and make ourselves a stamp. To do that, I've got my material and I've got the plastic cover is on the top. I am going to go ahead and just place this here on my mat. And I'm going to replace my blade. The regular blade is not what we want. We want a deep cut blade. Now, the deep cut blade and the stamp material are available for extra purchase, and you do definitely want to use that deep blade with that. We just need to go up here into save data on the machine. I've got some fun files, a dragon file, some deer. If you've been watching my videos, some of these files are from over a year ago. We've had a lot of fun. Okay, there it is though. I know it's the very last one because it's the most recent one I made. I'm just gonna say okay. And before I move it around, I'm gonna press this button here and this red squares button. We're gonna hit right here because here's the thing. When it's scanned, it sees all of the different cuts as separate. We don't want that. We want the machine to see it as one image. And I'm gonna say unify. And what that'll do is make it so that I can move this over. Now I could scan my material, but the other thing, you don't always have to scan the material. For example, I can see over here that at the 3-inch mark is perfectly safe. So 1, 2, at the 3-inch mark and 1 inch down is perfectly safe. I know that right there, this stamp is going to cut out just fine. So I don't have to scan. And I really appreciate that about the grid marks. From here, guys, we just say okay and cut. And that really is how easy it can be to make a stamp with your ScanNCut. Now, all cut out, look how, I mean, it took less than a minute, and you can see how the plastic covering, by the way, just helps the silicone material not to like stretch and get funky, but you'll be able to just pick all the little pieces out. Now, if for some reason one little piece has like a funky spot or didn't quite trim all the way for some reason, don't worry about that. You can always just either, most of the time, honestly, with the stamp material, like there's a little tiny bit right there that's barely touched. If I just pull just ever so slightly, it just pops right out. But most of these, they just need to be popped out. And then look, it's so cute. I have my own little flower stamp. And, well, let's see if I can figure out which way it goes. I think it goes like so. Got my own little flower stamp that's just identical to my doodle. I love that. Okay, so now that we have a stamp, what should we stamp? I like these stamps with acrylic paint the most, but I also like them with some, if not acrylic paint, then I also like pigment ink. I think pigment ink is a lot of fun for these because it's a little juicier. So I think it works better with the material. So let's play with some pigment ink and let's make ourselves a gift tag. So I just got these little cubes of, they're actually called hybrid ink, but pigment ink or hybrid ink, one of those. It's just a little more of like a foamy ink pad. I find they work a lot better than the dye ink. And I am just going to make myself a fun little pattern here all around. And I'm starting with this lighter color, but what I'll do is I have several colors here. So I'm just going to pull out the various colors of ink, and here's a darker one. And I'm just going to, you see I'm working on a paper towel. I'm just going to blot off my ink just to make sure there's no, you can see there's just a little bit of pink ink there. I'm just going to blot that off to make sure I don't transfer it. And then I'm just going to repeat and just tap, tap, tap all around. Obviously, if you have a bigger ink pad or a smaller stamp, you don't have to do that. But look, you can, and you don't have to re-ink every time. You can do some second, even third generation stamping there. You can just keep stamping around depending on what you like, where you want it. I'm kind of feeling like kind of a Christmas theme going on here. And I know I started with that pink, but there's a couple of different reds here. So I'm just going to continue on until I have absolutely filled this with all kinds of flowers. Oh, I just love how this is turning out. Back on my ScanNCut here and with the regular blade in. First of all, I just love that. I love how that turned out. And it's my own design, which is so much fun. I love that. But I was thinking for dimension and to add a little more to this, it'd be kind of fun. First of all, I'm going to go into Save Data and I'm going to grab that file once again. And remember how we went in here, did the red, all the red squares, pick them all, and unify so it becomes one. So I can move that around. I'm also going to add in, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add in some leaves. I'm going to add in this one. I'm not sizing it yet. And I'm also going to add in from patterns. I'm going to go in there, back in where the leaves are. And I like this one, and I'm going to add that. Now, I'm not sizing it yet because, well, because I don't have to. And I can come in here and look at these leaves with the flower. And from that point decide, okay, well, here's where I think this would be good. And here's how many I think I should have. Instead of having to look at the leaf and try to guess about what size I want, I can see it in relation to my flower. I can see, okay, well, let's undo that. I have the wrong one picked. I can see exactly where I want it or how many I want. So once I've got those done, and I'm gonna do, let's go ahead and do two flowers as well. I'm gonna say okay, and I'm gonna scan this mat in so that we can see, because I have green and kind of a pinkish soft red color here. I will just never get tired of that feature because it totally lets me have control. I'm going to make one of those leaves a little smaller. You guys, I love the freedom of being able to adjust so very much and being able to look at things and go, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do this a little differently, or I'm going to do that a little differently. And I'm going to put these flowers down here towards the bottom as well. Once I am happy with everybody and I feel like everything is the way I want it, all I have to do is cut. I put some puffy letter stickers that I had, and I just glued down all my little leaves and things. And guys, I'm just loving how this is coming along. Right now I'm just finishing it off. I've got some green ribbon that I've just loosely tied around the top and just have there, just trimming it up. And now I'm just, you know, I love my dimensional embellishments. So I'm just going to get some liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to add a few fun little finishing touches here and there, including up here by my bow. And then down here I'll add maybe a couple sequins, a couple little doodads, and I've got a tag. And I got to tell ya, I absolutely love it because not only did I make it myself, but it's made with one of my own designs, and I just think that is so much fun. And guys, I am not what I would not refer to myself as great at drawing or anything, but you can make even simple designs like this one that I just created with your ScanNCut. So simple, so easy, so much fun, and so perfect for your holiday crafting. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. Always love hearing from you. I will see you next time. I wish you very happy crafting.